To go to our Sion Rhodes, who's live at part of the airport there. Sion, tell us where you are. We understand some of those passengers were taken to this location.
Yeah, we were able to walk inside this lobby of the hangar here at the Houston airport, executive airport, I should say. And I can tell you the lobby is full of people, and they are all wearing Astros gear. So we have been hearing reports that perhaps this flight was headed to Boston for the next game in the series there against the Red Sox with the Astros. I did try to talk to a man who appeared to be in a pilot uniform. I asked him if he was a pilot. He said he was. I tried to talk to him about what happened. He did not wish to talk to me that time. He was walking very slowly and appeared to be just a little bit dazed. We want to toss now to a press conference with the very latest information on what happened this morning.
So let me explain. Today, the Texas Department of Public Safety, the Waller County Sheriff's Office, and Waller Harris ESD 20 was called out to a scene of a plane crash right here in Waller County at FM 2855 and Morton. Once we arrived on scene, of course, we observed the plane in its state engulfed, and we were advised that, of course, all individuals on board the plane, all 18 passengers and 13 crew members survived. At this time, we're getting reports that 2 individuals were transported to the hospital for their injuries, and this plane was actually attempted to take off, but in a rolling state right here at the Houston Executive Airport here in Waller County, and never was able to take flight. The actual airplane rolled down the runway, struck an actual fence, and from there became disabled. Luckily, and we're thankful that all of the passengers and crew members were able to extract themselves, and that's when the first responders came in to go to work to extinguish the fire. So again, today is a good day for all, not only for the passengers and crew, but for this community and first responders. We do know that the plane was headed to Boston, leaving this airport, headed to Boston, and that's the information that we have at this time. We're not sure really why it caught on fire. Not sure if it was because it hit the structure, but we are waiting on the FAA, and they're going to be able to give us more information on the particulars of the actual crash. I would like to bring in our emergency management officials so they can speak onto the extinguishing of the fire. Boston. Possibly, I'm not sure. 18 passengers aboard, 3 crew members, to include 2 pilots and, of course, one attendee. The youngest child that we've reported is 10 years old.
Can you walk us through how the passengers were able to extract themselves out of the plane?
We don't know that at this time, but of course, again, however they extracted themselves, they're off, and no one's deceased. And man, that is an awesome feeling right now for us as first responders.
Again, Sergeant Walter, thank you for you and your team for being here today in Waller County. What I want to do as the Waller County Emergency Management Coordinator, I want to thank all the responding agencies that came to our aid. Waller County is a very rural community, but we have a lot of partners that surround us. As you can see, we have Harris County, we have Fort Bend County, we have a number of fire departments in the area who have assisted us. Again, it's a blessing today that all passengers were out of the plane, and just very minor injuries that was stated before. Just lower back pain and some respiratory issues. So again, I'm going to turn it over to Chief Tim Gibson. He's the chief of the responding fire department that's handling this incident.
I'm Tim Gibson, Director of Waller Harris Emergency Services District 200. We're the provider out here for fire and EMS services across all of Waller County and part of Harris County. We have multiple service providers out here today. We actually did have multiple of our crew members in our fire departments that were responding that are also aircraft rescue firefighters and certified. They were able to get on scene, make a good assessment quickly. We did find that all passengers had self-extricated. We assisted them from the field where the plane ended up on the north side of Morton Road from the airport, and we were able to quickly get some of our off-road brush units out to the field and get the fire extinguished after substantial effort.
Do we know how far the plane traveled?
The planes and put out, you said it was...
It was very difficult. It was fully involved, and we had to employ a lot of foam, and it took a lot of apparatus and a lot of joint efforts from our mutual aid partners as well as our own trucks and equipment.
describe how they got off the plane and what their reaction was?
They were stunned. They were very, very stunned, but they did all self-extricate. We can't tell you how they did that or in what method. And the plane was fully involved when we arrived.
And just describe the area where the plane came to land. For those passengers getting out, is it easy to walk around?
So there is a gravel driveway that goes out into that pasture, but it is very dense brush and pasture area out there where the plane ended up and came to rest.
Give us an idea of how surprising it is how nobody here was killed or any minor injuries. Is that what y'all expected when you arrived?
You know, ma'am, anytime you have a plane that doesn't make a landing on the runway like it should, we're always expecting the worst but hoping for the best. And today, we absolutely positively got the best outcome we could hope for in this incident.
So was the plane in one piece when it landed?
I couldn't tell you that right now, ma'am. No, ma'am.
When it broke apart?
I couldn't tell you that right now either.
But, sir, it never took off, right?
It was attempting a takeoff.
But did it go up?
Yeah, I do not believe so.
Did not. No, ma'am.
Has the pilot explained what happened or what caused them not to take off?
That's going to be coordinated between DPS, and I'll let them answer that.
Thank you so
Yes,
much.
sir.
Right now, again, we're waiting on the FAA, and they're going to look at the particulars of that. Again, what I can tell you is the plane traveled approximately 500 feet on the runway, and then that's when the actual incident ensued. So once the FAA arrives on scene, they'll be able to kind of tie this up and give us more particulars with their investigation. But at this time, that's all that we have. Again, I think we can all agree, we can celebrate on today that no one was killed in this horrific incident.
The two people that were transported, can you describe their injuries as to why they were transported to the...
No, sir, I don't have any details on the injuries.
So where are the passengers now?
Anybody?
Still on the plane? Where are they?
Okay, all back at the airport. All back at the airport, safe and sound. Thank you, guys.
Do you have a Spanish speaker for us?
I do. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hola, me llamo.
You've been listening to authorities update us after two people were injured in a plane crash that took place right next to Houston Executive Airport this morning around 10 a.m. 21 people were on board, 18 passengers, 3 crew members. This was a charter jet headed to Boston, a charter flight, a McDonnell Douglas MD-87. Here's what we know about what took place before that plane crashed. It was attempting to take off in a rolling state. They say it never took flight. It rolled down the runway about 500 feet, struck a fence, and became disabled. And what's just remarkable here, Christine, is that authorities are telling us that the 21 people on board, they all rescued themselves.
Yeah, they were able to get out safely on their own. Again, only 2 people with what sounds like just minor injuries. We learned that the youngest person on that plane was a 10-year-old child. Listening to authorities, you can really hear their sense of relief, saying, hey, everyone made it out safely, and that is, quote, an awesome feeling as first responders, and saying that we absolutely got the best outcome in a situation like this, where you look at the footage that we saw not too long ago with that plane completely engulfed in flames, and it sounds like everyone got off the plane before those flames erupted.